Welcome, everybody. It is Moneyline Madness post first weekend of March Madness. Hell of a weekend in March Madness college basketball. I am Andy B. I'm here with Matt. Matt, how we doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. A lot going on in sports over this weekend, and I'm excited to talk about it because we haven't had a Moneyline episode in about a week, right? Moneyline Madness episode was last Wednesday, and literally everything in sports that has happened, that's exciting at least, has been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Some was exciting, some was not exciting.
We'll get to that. Exciting for some, not exciting for others. I don't know. I had a good weekend. I enjoyed
the sports this weekend. I didn't let anything knock me down.
No, it was
there
definitely
were things that tried to.
The
night we actually did a show.
Yeah.
Was the night they tried to tear us down, but we'll get to that.
Shout out to Princeton. That's a fact. Shout out to Princeton.
Yes.
And shout out to FDU. Even though they lost last night, that was a hard-fought game. The boys are tough as nails, and they showed out for New Jersey. That was mad respect to New Jersey for Fairleigh Dickinson's run. But first things first, let's talk about the World Baseball Classic, because that is what I feel everyone that's tuning in most wants to hear about, right? Like, obviously, Andy B is the Mets fan of the show. So let's talk about it, Andy. And I said it right here. R.I.P. in peace to Edwin Diaz's 2023. Yeah, R.I.P. in peace. That's a fact. Man, what? So Andy, we've seen the tweets from the Barstool guys. Nobody really cares about them. I really only care about what Andrew Bucato has to say. A lot of people taking sides, whether they think that the World Baseball Classic should be banned for MLB players. Some even going as far as saying, nobody in professional baseball should be allowed to participate in this Olympic event and should just be college baseball players. So now, what do you think as someone who just lost their closer to the World Baseball Classic?
Look, yeah, I disagree with the not allowing professionals to play. That would be stupid. I think it's a cool event and it should happen. I don't like the timing of it. Edwin Diaz, that was a freak injury. But if that happens in November, the Mets probably get him back at the All-Star break, right?
Yeah.
If that happens in July, they get him back next opening day, right? Like, if you do it at different times, it's at the worst possible time, right? You get hurt, you're not playing this season. So that's why that's my problem with it. I love it. It's cool for the fans of foreign countries, and obviously this year we've been way more into it than we've ever been.
Yeah.
I know for Double R, it's Phillies fans are getting to see what they're going to get to see for the next 11 years, right? Like, that's cool for them. Mets fans, I know Peter Alonso had a big hit yesterday. Francisco Lindor had a good run. I know Team Mexico, like, they weren't supposed to be there, and they went on a run. Like, this is cool for them. So, no, I'm not on the side of anybody who thinks it's worthless, meaningless. It's not. It matters. But
you see it on the faces of these guys. How much? Edwin Diaz only got hurt because everyone on his team was so excited that they just won the game. This is a battle of countries that are notorious for going at each other in these types of events. Yeah. And that's a huge win for your home country. And one thing that was a telltale sign for me was Edwin Diaz's first post put out was two Puerto Rican fans, right? He didn't even address the Mets originally, and some Mets fans were pretty pissed about that. Mets fans were very upset that his first post did not mention anything about the team that you're supposed to be competing for and just got $100 million from. So how do you feel about that?
That's something that I will not back off of. I love every player that's on the Mets, right? Like, go play for your country. But when you lose and when your guy gets hurt, like Francisco Lindor said, like, it's more important to them. That's not okay with me, because like $341 million is not getting paid to you from Team Puerto Rico. Like, Edwin Diaz got $100 million this offseason, most from a closer ever.
Yep,
you get that from Team Puerto. Like, I don't mean to be rude by this. I know it matters. I know it's good for you to play for your country, and you love it, and you should love your country. But as far as I'm concerned, the Mets need to matter a little more, because this is what pays you. Yeah. Like, I love the WBC. These guys are not getting paid to play in this, and if they are, they're not getting paid a lot. It doesn't generate the money that Major League Baseball generates. So, look, I'm not gonna back from that. I love Francisco Lindor. I didn't like when he said that. Like, it's different from the World Cup too. Like, if you win the World Cup, your players get bonuses that are insane.
Yeah,
that's not happening here. So that's the one difference.
It's really hard because how do you, as an athlete, not give 100%? Right? Like, I get what you're saying. The Mets should matter a little bit more, but it's not like what are you going to go and tell them, that they shouldn't give 110% effort in the risk of injury?
You
Like,
step on the field.
it's really tough. If you're going out there, I'm expecting you to compete for my team.
I'm not
and
saying
regardless of what you're making from the Mets, it's like, is Edwin Diaz going to come out and start tossing meatballs for Puerto Rico because he's scared his arm could get hurt?
That's not what I'm saying.
Tough.
I think once you're hurt, right? Like that, wherever you could have gotten hurt in a spring training game, right? Like, I've seen that around, and Brendan Nimmo almost did. That's not, when you're hurt, you're hurt. But when you come off of being hurt, in the interviews and in the tweets and everything, like, don't spit on Mets fans. Like, this is look, Puerto Rico was done no matter, like, they lost their next game. They're done. They won't think about Team Puerto Rico for 4 years. What are Mets fans supposed to do in this situation?
He was sacrificed for what? You know, what?
like
what?
And like, I'll say this. I'm not giving up on the Mets season. I believe at the All-Star break they will find a replacement closer, nowhere near as good as Edwin Diaz, but they'll find somebody to save them games down the stretch. Mm-hmm. But they are not winning this division right now.
Yeah.
I was talking to Brendan. Brendan came over to my house. We've had him on the show a couple times. We were watching all the March Madness Thursday and Friday. But you better believe we talked to little Edwin Diaz. And the first thing I said is, there's going to be games in May, in June, pre-trade deadline, where the Mets are just going to blow it. Like, David Robertson.
And you know that it's going to come, and it's going to be like, we lost that game because we didn't have Edwin Diaz.
You're not getting a 31 for 33 closer. Like, that's not happening. The Mets are going to probably be up in the upper echelon in blown saves. Yeah. They are probably going to lead in bullpen ERA for a little while. There's no marquee arms in that bullpen. David Robertson's coming off a year in which he fell off a cliff in the second half and coming off an injury. Adam Ottavino cannot replicate what he did last year.
You guys are looking at Zach Britton, right? Like, I mean.
Yeah, like, I think Zach Britton's the main piece they're going to bring in. He's coming off like 3 years in a row where he was injured.
Injured or mediocre, truthfully, on my Yankees team. So I would unfortunately know.
Like, that was my thing. Like, don't act like it's nothing, because like I'm going to go to the Edwin Diaz. They're giving away bobbleheads for his trumpet day. Like, that matters to people. Like, Edwin Diaz means a lot to the people of Puerto Rico. He means everything to people of Puerto Rico. Means a hell of a lot to the Mets too. So I know it means a lot for them, but I didn't like that it kind of felt like the Mets were being spit on in the whole situation. Yeah. Where we were just the place he plays for that pays him.
Caught astray. You guys literally just caught astray. Yeah.
And I don't mean it to be disrespectful to Puerto Rico. I actually was rooting for Puerto Rico because there were so many Mets on the team. Mm-hmm. But it kind of felt like the Mets were being spit on in a way that I didn't like. It felt like we were nothing. Like, we were just the thing he goes back to.
Yeah.
The thing he goes back to is,
I was going to say,
love him, right? Like,
yeah, the Mets are, it's not like, not understandable because you're getting paid regardless, but it's almost like as if I was going back to be like a Pittsburgh Pirate. Like, in that case, I somewhat understand that angle. You know, like, you're going back and you just have nothing to live for. You know, like, this is the best baseball you're gonna see. But if you're a Met, like, truthfully, the aspirations for this season were World Series or bust.
It still is. No, they can't back off of that. That's the truth. Buck Showalter, I love him. He's 67 years old. There ain't much time left in his career. There ain't much time left in Max Scherzer's career. There's not much time left in Justin Verlander's career. Like, you don't have that, like, oh, well, we'll get him next year. No, it sucks, but they're going to have to go win it without Edwin Diaz, and it's going to be extremely tough, but they're just going to have to bite the bullet and do it. I saw a lot of people saying they should go trade for his brother. His brother is worth way too much to the Reds right now. They are not going to make that decision.
It would have to be. You'd have to give up Beatty or one of those types of guys.
It would be a feel-good story that's not worth it. The Mets will figure it out midway through the season, but from April to July, there's going to be a lot of games in there where we're going to be like, well, shit, if we had Edwin Diaz, we win that one.
We win that.
We don't have Edwin Diaz, we're not winning this one. So
I agree.
That's why I don't know if they're going to be within the division in time to get a closer. So
yeah. Yeah, well, hey, man, I'm not going to lie. I'd be silly to sit here and just make fun of your injury issues as if the Yankees aren't starting the season with an injured Nestor Cortez, injured Harrison Bader, injured Carlos Rodon.
Rodon's not pitching for a while, right?
Well, he told the press that it's the type of injury, it's a forearm strain, and it's the type of injury, if he was to have that come in September or October, he would say, give me the baseball regardless.
Fair.
But right now they're being precautionary. But the thing is, Andy, like, I don't believe that. You know, the Yankees, like, medical staff at this point.
Oh no, yeah,
they love to sugarcoat.
They do hide things.
You know, they love saying Giancarlo Stanton strained his calf, and he's, you know, it's soreness. He's going to be back. Give him 5 to 7 days. We're not even going to put him on the IL. And then all of a sudden, Giancarlo Stanton misses the entire month of July and half of August because of this calf injury. We've seen it multiple times. So I'm very suspicious of the Yankees medical staff.
Yeah, they've had a history of that.
Very similar to, you know, the Chargers over there in the NFL. Plunking Tyrod Taylor in the lung with the needle. It's just like, what type of medical practice are we like?
Herbert.
No, it's all of these, you know, doctors that are learning off of ChatGPT and you know, Quizlet. That's how they graduated. It's seeming like, come on, man. I'm scared for the health of these guys. Yeah, exactly.
That's the meme I saw a lot.
No, literally. But like Double R said, it ain't like Mike Trout. Let's talk about Captain America himself.
I mean, he deserves this. This is the most meaningful baseball he's going to play this year.
It is. It unfortunately is the most meaningful baseball he will see. But let's talk about the fact that the script is written, basically, right? Like Team USA, I don't think that they lose this thing. Just being that,
I don't know.
The lineup that I'm seeing. You, listen, the pitching stinks.
For Japan, if they win tonight, Shohei's starting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you better be ready, because that's a guy who knows how to get all 9 of those guys out.
I would agree, but at some point or another in that lineup, there is just so much power, so much versatility in that lineup that it doesn't matter if their pitching staff isn't great. They're going to put up 10 runs a game, and that's how they're going to beat you. It's just a slugfest. It's ridiculous. And Maine says he needs to distance himself.
He had a chance. He signed his extension, which good for him. A lot of money, but kind of put himself in this situation. So.
He made his own bed. He's on some Damian Lillard type of deal.
They play tomorrow. To be clear,
tomorrow, facts. Yep.
The U.S. plays tomorrow. Look, I will be very honest. I am rooting for Mexico. I have my personal reasons, but I don't think they're gonna win. And I think a lot of people are very excited if Shohei gets the face shot, which would be a lead. But I will say this: I am rooting for Mexico. I love the underdog story. I have personal reasons. I'm rooting for that. But also, I think it would be easier for the U.S. if Mexico won. So,
if Randy Arozarena comes back to bite Team USA in the cheeks.
That guy, when there's a full building, he knows what's going on.
No, I mean he's a stud. Literally in the time when it's time to play ball, I would not want to face Randy Arozarena in any part of the lineup. Like, I mean, I saw, being a Yankee fan, how he dismantled our pitching staff in a series. I mean, I can't imagine in a World Baseball Classic setting, like Maine said, when the people in the crowd are going apeshit, when everybody's going insane, there's tons of energy. I mean, that's the type of vibe that Randy Arozarena lives for. So I don't know. He should have came to Philly when he had a chance. Speaking on Mike Trout, I agree. Honestly, I think he should have been a Philadelphia Philly or a New York Yankee. Honestly, he should have went either way and gotten the bag.
One of our first episodes, we talked about that if he ever wore another uniform, it would be in Philly. That was, I think, pre-extension. He signed the extension. We were like, all right, well, he's never played anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you can't trade Mike Trout. You can't.
Randy's going to be a Yankee in a few years. That's the type of vibe that like Big George Steinbrenner used to have, you know, where if a guy was beating you up, he would go out and just pay for that guy to be on the team. Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill, you know, you see that with those type of guys back in the day. Jason Giambi, that's my first ever jersey, actually. I have it hanging up right in front of
I know.
The camera here, the little Giambi jersey. I mean, he used to hit dongs, man. I mean, it's a classic. But Mike Trout still considers himself a Phillies fan. He does. Big time Phillies guy, big time Eagles guy, big time Sixers guy. Roger Clemens too. Clemens is a great one. That's a perfect example. But yeah, I mean, all in all, World Baseball Classic is a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's
for everybody that isn't a sick Mets fan working for Barstool, I think. Right?
Well, look,
like those are the only people that are having a problem.
I want to be clear. I know who you're talking about. KFC is who you're talking about. I disagree with a lot of what he said, but he did say a point where Mets fans have a right to be angry. Mets fans have a right to be furious right now. I'm not going to burn down the whole system and be like, oh, the WB's stupid, blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's cool. It's awesome. It's useful. We love it. It grows the game. It shows us what we didn't know. Like, a lot of people didn't know how important it is out in Japan or important it is in Mexico or Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. Like, it matters, and I love it. But Mets fans have a right to be furious. Guys, Like, people bought jerseys, people bought their trumpets. They're getting ready for the year. We got World Series. We were probably the favorites in the NL, if not second favorites. And like, it's exactly what happened with DeGrom last year. And we'll talk about this more when we do our preview baseball episode, which we will definitely be doing. DeGrom right before last season got hurt, and it took the air out of opening day. This did that times a million, because you don't have that. Well, we'll get him back at the All-Star break, or he'll be back later. Like, no, we won't. Like, I've heard like people say maybe later in the year, maybe in the playoffs. No, Edwin Diaz will not be playing in a Major League Baseball game until 2024. That's the Band-Aid that had to be ripped off. It sucks for me. It kind of ruined my first couple hours of March Madness watching, which sucked, but you got to get over it. So
yeah. And I mean, this is a great point that I was going to bring up once Andy was done. Multiple guys have come out. I mean, I forget exactly who it was, but a guy, I want to say on Venezuela, came out, struck out Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and Rafael Devers back to back, and ended up getting a contract from the Detroit Tigers after that game just because he struck out 3 guys. Now, if that is an incredible feel-good story, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not to get political. Somebody also got to defect from Cuba because of the WBC. I don't know.
That is a fact.
That was really cool. I want to say that. That's pretty cool.
Frank the Tank in shambles. Frank the Tank was in shambles. I mean, I'm friends with Meek Phil, who is on the podcast of Barstool, and he is a good guy. I love his takes. Love him in some of our group chats that we have.
And he had, I don't know, did you see
his take was bad? His take was bad. I'm going to be honest. His take on the World Baseball Classic was bad.
The one that he posted today?
No, it was straight when it happened, and I think it was out of emotion. It was out of emotion from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
So, it was Nicaragua. Was it? Wait, I got Elijah telling me it was Nicaragua, and then someone on Facebook saying it was.
What happened for both?
I'm not sure, but whoever it was, I'm happy for him because that's an awesome opportunity that he wouldn't have gotten without the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, Mets fans had a different reaction at 11:50 Wednesday than they do now.
Yeah,
like my emotions were running. Like I was pissed when I first saw it because like you're helpless. There's nothing you can do. Like your season's over, or not over necessarily. Obviously, it's not over, but it puts a crimp in your season. And like as you fade a little bit and you realize that like, look, is it gonna be easy? No, but you can make up a 4-WAR player, right? Like his electricity and his energy, it's unmatched. But will the Mets figure it out? Will they have a guy that saves 25, 30 games? Probably. I think Adam Ottavino might be able to do that. But, like, no, it definitely.
It is Nicaragua. Okay.
The emotions of it are definitely there.
Absolutely. He will come back the same. Now, this is something that I actually wanted to talk about because I actually 2 years ago had the same injury that Edwin Diaz had playing basketball. And I, truthfully, like my honest, and this isn't even me saying this because I'm a Yankees fan. I don't like the Mets. I tore my patellar tendon, tore my kneecap. Both of those had to get the same surgery Edwin Diaz got. I'm not the same. I'm not gonna my knee is not the same.
And I'm not
it
gonna
is not
say,
a
like
reconstructive knee surgery.
Yeah.
And sure, I'm athletic and I have those some ability still, but this is something where I feel if I'm pushing off of that foot to pitch, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a kneecap. It's the other one.
It's very fortunate. That was the thing.
This is a landing foot still.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough because he's going to come down. He has to put a lot of pressure on his foot, which in turn translates directly to that front patellar tendon and that kneecap. So
yeah,
I don't know.
The doctor said 6 to 8 months of recovery. That doesn't even get into like after.
Nah, bro, it sucks.
He will most likely not throw off a mound until next January, February.
He won't be ready until after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm going to say All-Star break, maybe next year. It's really that big of an injury. He's going to, the furthest that he's going to be getting in spring training next year will be potentially 2 to 5 pound ankle weights doing leg extensions.
Yeah. It's going to be very
bad, bro, because what they have to go in and do is they cut off basically your quad, right? They have to detach your quad muscle from your kneecap in order to take that pressure off of the patellar tendon. So they do that and then drill a hole through your kneecap in order to then go around, loop your kneecap back in a secured spot and replace that patellar tendon in front of your kneecap. This is a no-joke surgery.
Yeah,
and
no,
truthfully, he might have been better off if he tore his ACL. It's that serious.
Yeah. Look, My hope is that they don't rush him back and ruin the guy's career. He's still young. I think he's 28 or something like that. But yeah, it's an all around unfortunate thing, and it did. I really felt bad for the WBC fans because like I was very excited for it too, and they were taking a lot of heat, and a lot of people were being kind of thrown under the bus. Like I don't care what any other network or anybody says, it matters. The WBC means everything to some of these other countries that don't get to compete in Major League Baseball. Like you have fans in the Dominican Republic, they don't get Major League Baseball games. They don't have internet to watch MLB. Like this is their moment. Their TVs are nationally, like they're televising. They don't televise Major League Baseball. Like this means a lot to them. For me, right? If the U.S. loses tomorrow, we got the Mets in like a week and a half. I won't care that much. But this means everything to kids out in Japan, kids out in Mexico now. Like, so I didn't like that there was a whole thing cast over the system because, look, I was mad too, but I wasn't going to burn down the whole system. I love what the WBC is doing.
Can I ask you a question now? And this is totally me just thinking of this on the fly. But is there any chance that the MLB is somewhat finagling with the World Baseball Classic to have Mexico be a top team because they're thinking of expansion into, we've seen baseball games in Mexico City, NBA games. Is that potentially, a little bit of a poker chip that they're playing right now?
I don't think so. I think there was a lot of people that had their suspicions that this Mexico team could be really good. They have a lot of good players. They have a great ace for a WBC. I know he got lit up the other day, but Julio Urias is his name.
Yeah, Urias is nasty.
He's the one that's there. Like,
I mean, he's had World Series experience,
Yeah, they've also got a pretty good draw the other day when they got to face Marcus Stroman in their must-win game. Like they were able to face him. Like, so no, I don't think they're necessarily messing with it. I just think the chips have fallen in Mexico's way, and they're a very talented team. If you told me who the Final Four were going to be, I would have told you Japan, U.S., Dominican Republic. They didn't even make it out of the group stage. And I probably would have told you Puerto Rico, and I was right? Puerto Rico, I guess Cuba was the other final. But like, it's so weird. But no, I don't necessarily think they messed with it at all. I'm very happy that Mexico went on this run. So
no, it's awesome, and it's very interesting.
It's got people into baseball that I never thought would be into baseball.
It is. It brings together all walks of life into one sport. The same way the World Cup brings together people from all around the world into one.
Game starts in 11 minutes.
What, the Japan game? Yes, I believe 7 or 7:30.
Where is the championship? I feel like that's something you would know.
The championship, like World Baseball Classic, is in Pennsylvania.
It's in Miami?
No, I want to say it's in Pennsylvania.
No.
They had a game in Pennsylvania like yesterday or the day before, and I'm pretty sure that's where USA was.
Time out. Let's take a look.
I'm not even kidding. I wish I was kidding, but
It's in Miami.
Is it? Okay. I know that they were down there at the Marlins.
They Miami last night. Well, look, the U.S. was able to rest their bullpen a lot last night, which was good. But like, who's going to be our closing starter? Who's going to be? I don't know.
Oh man, I mean,
we'll tweet about that. But.
Like the thing is, like Lance Lynn, bro. I can't watch Lance Lynn.
Oh, it's Lance Lynn. Well,
that's what I mean. I can't watch Lance Lynn represent my country, bro.
I wasn't really very high on the U.S. because like our pitching is not good. But I guess
him and we're handing the ball to Ryan Presley. Like Ryan Presley, the same guy.
Aaron Luke's my favorite person that was ever only a Met for 1 year. Aaron Luke, I'm a huge fan. He's actually, if I could meet if there was like 4 famous people that I could meet, he'd be like 3rd on the list. I love Aaron Luke.
Wow.
We got to get him on one day.
Aaron Loop, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's a guy I feel like you could DM and he could potentially.
He's a big country music guy. I will say that as well.
Okay, you guys could reminisce over some new Morgan Walden or something like that.
Walden?
I don't know. I don't know his name truthfully. Other than is it
Walden?
Wallen.
Morgan Wallen.
Oh, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. If it ain't Ice Spice, I ain't interested.
Oh no! Not the Ice Spice. No.
All right. Anyways, let's move on from the World Baseball Classic because there have been some other things going on in sports, and that is March's biggest tournament, the NCAA college basketball tournament. And Andy, how you feeling after this weekend? Because we saw Princeton take a dub, we saw Fairleigh Dickinson take a dub, and then an L. So what's the deal here? I'm sorry, Double R. I don't know Morgan Wallen's name.
Whalen.
Whalen, yeah.
No, the thing that I always look at when I'm doing a bracket, right? When you do a bracket, and I'm not a huge bracket guy. I do 1 or 2. I'm not a person who does like Brendan. I know I brought him up. He
Puts up
did
20
30.
brackets.
He did 30.
Well,
That's too many.
Deion Waiters once said, when he went 0 for 30, you miss all of the shots that you don't take, and he's going to keep shooting because that's confidence right there.
I agree, but I'm also one of those people who, like, my gut is my gut. I'm going to pick who I'm going to pick. Now, one of my brackets I threw away the second day because I had Purdue winning the national title. So we threw that one away. Never actually thought they were going to win the national title. The 3 things I look at when you get into the Sweet 16, is your national champion still alive? Did you have a surprise that made it? Because there's always somebody. And how are you in terms of your Cinderellas? Like, are you even close, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I had Arizona, so I'm not even close with the Princeton one. But I had Michigan State in the Sweet 16. That's a 7 seed. That was a surprise. And I had Gonzaga winning. I have the Gonzaga winning the national title. They're still alive. So you do pretty. I did pretty well personally. But in terms of talking about all the days, look, we didn't get Thursday. Was amazing. Furman, that win.
I was gonna say, where's your bracket busted? How many of them when Virginia lost?
Yeah, I gave you 2 picks the other day that I was very sold on. I said, don't go Furman. That was wrong. Although Virginia won that game, Furman won it at the last second.
Literally,
Virginia deserved to win the game. They made a bad play. And I told you, don't fall for Oral Roberts. And I was 100% right. They didn't score for the first 9 minutes of the game. They were completely outmatched by Duke. But in terms of the surprises that I did not see Tennessee getting out of the second round. They barely got out of the first round, and they whipped Duke. So that's huge. I saw Michigan State. That's a great team. Nobody on earth saw FDU getting their win over Purdue, let alone did they see FAU getting to the Sweet 16. So that's
a fact. And honestly, that was a game that Fairleigh Dickinson could have came out with.
Yeah, they should have won. They had
multiple leads and multiple opportunities to strike and take a distancing lead, but they couldn't. And honestly, FAU's been playing some good ball. So they got nothing to lose.
They're a 9 seed based on their conference. FAU won 31 games. That's a very talented team. So I'm not off on that team. Although I do think Tennessee's probably right. They're probably going to beat Tennessee's probably going to beat them. I don't see any way Michigan State doesn't leave with their Sweet 16. I don't see how they're not in the Final Four. But in terms of the national championship teams, there's 3 on the list for me. I got Alabama, I got Gonzaga, I got UCLA. I think Arkansas can compete, but I think one of those 3 teams are going to be holding up the national title. I think Alabama's unbelievable on offense. Brandon Miller is ridiculous. UCLA,
that was my pick, but I have an updated number 2 who I'd like to toss in there for you because I think they're on the rise, and I think I said this on Most Sports TV as them being a sleeper, or I said this on here. Creighton.
Yeah, Creighton's a good one. I told you.
Creighton just beat Baylor, and they put on a show, man.
They came into the season as a national championship contender. The only reason I don't have them is because I think they're in the same as Duke, or not Duke, Alabama. I'm not sure. But that's the only reason I could 100% see that. Creighton is a great team. They had national championship aspirations coming into the year. They had some injuries. They are a very talented team. So look, pretty much, I'll give you 8 of the 16 teams I could see going on a run, but the 3 that I keyed in on are the ones I most likely see. I think you got Arkansas, Michigan State, Tennessee, UCLA moneyline.
The thing is, I don't know if I would bet against FAU right now.
No, I don't. FAU is actually not the one that's getting me there because I think Tennessee could outscore them. UCLA is a tough one. Gonzaga looked really good their first 2 games. They are a very talented team with not a lot of pressure on them right now. That's the only one on that one that gave me a little fits. I love that Arkansas team. That team beating Kansas was
huge.
Kind of a hump that I did not expect them to.
That was huge, but I forget who commented last week. Watch out for Arkansas.
Well, I remember saying,
I said I wouldn't
be surprised if they were in the Elite 8, but I didn't see them beating Kansas, so I didn't see it happening. But I'm not surprised that they're here. He's made it 3 straight Sweet 16s now at Arkansas. That's not a place you usually see that.
Yeah.
So, and I see an SDSU comment. They won me some money the other day. A lot of credit.
There you go. Now, I got to ask because I feel like they're getting written off a little bit. Kansas State in this conversation, are we just
I did not think they were going to win yesterday.
Are we just chalking them here? Because we didn't even mention the fact that they're going up against MSU, and they're a 3 seed that's a +2 right now.
Yeah, the reason I think is because of the coaching. Tom Izzo doesn't lose late in March. Like, he'll get you to a Final Four. That's why I'm kind of writing Kansas State off. I could be completely wrong, but I don't. I would be very surprised if Kansas State beat Michigan State. Michigan State shoots threes really well, and when they're making them, you're gonna lose by 20.
Yeah, but
Like,
the thing
Marquette
that
had
I'm
no
looking
shot
at,
in the second half. Yes.
I'm looking right now, and the difference between, and I know this is a little bit skewed, I guess you could say, in terms of who they're playing, but you look and Kansas State is above MSU in terms of points per game, point differential, assists per game, steals, and rebounds per game. Yeah, the only thing that MSU is leading is blocks, and that's by 0.1 of like a tenth of a block. So it really is. It's neck and neck.
For me, it's systematically Michigan State's, when they're on, they're on. Like, they're not going to lose when they're on. If they come out cold, 100% I could see Kansas State. But also, Kansas State played well for like 8 minutes yesterday. They just got very fortunate Kentucky wasn't that good of a team. Like, Kentucky was not able to space the floor in the second. Like, they weren't able to run away with it, and it was pretty good. The Longhorns, look, they've probably looked the best of any team so far, I would say, other than Alabama. But, I mean, they didn't even play. Like,
they can't take. I don't think they could take Xavier lightly, though.
No,
I think there's a chance that like they're coming in with a 4-point favorite here, and I feel like they could take them a little bit lightly, and Xavier could capitalize off that.
The problem with that one is you're in a bracket where you have to, like, you're gonna play a battle game, and then I think they're in the same bracket as Arkansas. Like, if you come out of a battlesome game, like close game, and you're playing Arkansas the next game, they're just gonna bully you. So, like, I think whoever wins that Texas Xavier game is going to be in for a fight against the winner of the other game. So, like, it depends on a lot of different factors about how the games go. But, yeah, I'd be my Final Four right now, and I just want to pull up the bracket real quick. I can see a lot of different things happening, but, like, hold on, let me get it.
Now, I'm looking as well as Princeton and Creighton, and I can't help but feel that whatever team wins that game is going to go and continue their Cinderella run. I'm not going to lie. I feel like this is one of those games where the winner of this is going to be propelled even beyond the next game to just that type of level, being that they're playing that level of basketball.
Well, that's the thing. When you're hot in March.
Yeah. That's all it takes. All it takes.
My Final Four, I have Alabama, Michigan State, and I got Texas, Gonzaga. So you've got, go through that. That's a pretty tight one. Yeah.
And Andy, I have to ask, who did you have in your Final Four of the NCAA women's bracket?
I can say
I just wanted to see a reaction to that.
I did not have one, but I did watch Georgia's game yesterday because, like, it's the only chance that I'm gonna sniff a tournament at the University of Georgia right now.
Yeah.
They lost yesterday, so I have no interest now. But if I had to pick a winner, UConn is my pick every year.
Okay. That is a fact. I mean, if there was a team to bet on every year, UConn is.
I'll lose my money on Gino Auriemma. So there was some coaching news in college basketball, so I know you were excited about.
There was.
Look,
I mean, hey, they play at MSG. My cousin went there. I can't help but have some ties to St. John's. Getting Rick Pitino 6 years, bro. I can't believe it's 6 years.
70 years old getting a 6-year deal. We thought he was done crazy. 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
Yeah, that's insane,
I know. I posted a lot. I go to a lot of Seton Hall games. We have an inn, and I am definitely we're going to be using that inn to get to that game. Pitino is, if I had a list of my top 5 coaches, that guy's probably number 2 or 3. Like, I am a Rick Pitino guy. I love him.
And he's the Al Pacino of college coaches. He's the Pat Riley, the Don. He's the godfather of college hoops.
Yeah,
how can you not love the guy?
You can't. I mean, look, you can not love some of the things he did at Louisville, but, like, whatever. Like, he cheated a little bit. It happened.
On the court,
some of the things he did were really bad. He admitted it. He said, I fucked up. He went out to Greece, coached in Greece, did a great job, got a small job in Iona, and built his way up to the point where if you see St. John's in the Final Four in the next few years, don't be surprised.
Yep.
That program is built to win in March. So
we've never seen Al Pacino, Rick Pitino, and Pat Riley in the same room.
Never seen them. And that's the thing.
It could be part of the Lizard, the Lizard group.
Young Pat Riley, young Pitino, put them in the same room. I wouldn't be able to tell you who's who.
Yeah. Yep.
Just the way
It's a
it is.
fact.
Love
But yeah, all right. Anything else you want to cover? I do have to ask you your thoughts on Creed 2, Creed 3. I'm sorry because I haven't seen it yet, and I
I've seen
really
2
need to get
movies in
into
the
it.
past 3 weeks.
Oh
To be
wow.
honest. So we went to Creed, though, a couple weeks ago. I mean, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It
Yeah.
had me captivated pretty much every moment. And something that was really important was that Tessa Thompson's character was not cringe. It had been like, I don't know if you've watched
She's
them
never
in depth.
cringed to me. I can't lie. Tessa
Dude.
Thompson could do whatever she wants, and she will never be cringe. I'm
Well,
sorry.
no. She's a great actress, and she admitted that the character was cringe. Like the way she said John and that, like it was
okay.
cringe. Like she was cringe in the first 2. Very glad. She said I made sure we weren't like that this time, so it was great. Amazing. Jonathan Majors is in like everything with a screen right now. He has a commercial on. He's got 2 movies out. He's got another movie he just got cast in. He's got another movie coming out soon. Like he's everywhere. We love him.
And you've probably seen the meme of like, hey, bro, you're not ugly. Just get some muscle and get your money up. And it's Jonathan Majors like 5 years ago and him now. And it's just like a totally different person.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I was very happy. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It is the best in the Creed franchise. And then I know you're thinking, well, what other movie did you see? After we got out of Creed, we had seen in the previews Scream. The new Scream was coming out, and my brother is a huge Scream fan. I had never seen Scream before, so my girlfriend and I called him up. We were like, get a couple of your friends. We'll all go see Scream on Saturday. So Sunday, I was home. It was just me and my dog. We sat there. We watched all the Screams. And I am addicted now. They were amazing. So we went to see Scream, and I gave it like a 9.5 out of 10. I was locked in. Apparently, I talk too much during movies, but it was amazing. If you're looking to go see a movie right now and you're picking between Creed and Scream, I don't even think I'd pick. Just buy both. I know it's expensive, but like they're that good. Like it was worth it.
Yeah.
Scream
That's my life. That's why I'm in. Yeah, the Jonathan Majors blueprint is a fact.
Yeah.
I'm following that. I'm getting my money up, getting the muscle up, and then we'll be popping out. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna be on every screen.
I've been following
every social media you can find. What was that?
I've been following the Thor in the Endgame movies get fat.
Oh yeah, you're on that road right now. No worries. I was honestly hoping that the second movie you saw was Cocaine Bear because I wanted to hear an opinion on that.
That's not on demand.
I'm gonna go watch that relatively soon. Before the next Moneyline Madness episode, I will have a Cocaine Bear review for you.
Good. We need to keep doing reviews. I love them. There's not many movies coming out in the next few months. I think Super Mario is like the only one, which makes me mad. But like, they're really good. So a lot of movies.
Bro. I actually hit legs. I hit legs Monday and Thursday, right? So, Double R, I'm going to give you a rundown of the split real quick. Just my leg day, right? So, you get in the gym, 10 minutes of the stairs, level 18 to level 20, right? So, this is about 1,500 steps in the first 10 minutes. Then, you hop off, you go do some active stretching, get the legs loose. Then, 3 sets of 15 goblet squats. We're going heel raised to get some tension on the kneecaps. Word to Edwin Diaz. Get some tension on the knees, get some blood flow there. And then actually Simo joined me today for this, so he can attest. Then we head to hack squats. And hack squats, we're doing a set of 20, 2 sets of 15, and then drop set 12, 12, 10. You're going to do that twice, the 12, 12, 10. And then from there, you're already cooked at that point. From there, you're doing some Bulgarian split squats. You hit the leg press after that. Then we got some leg extensions, finish it off with leg curls. Then I'm wrapping up 10 more minutes on the stairs. Same deal. And then we're going and hitting some cardio. So that's it.
I want to ask, how do you think it was predictable? Like, there were some predictable aspects, but like, there was never a movie.
Was that Country Roads?
That's my girlfriend's ringtone.
Nice.
Yeah, it was not that predictable. It was
Oh, Shazam is out. That's a fact. With cringe Batman. Andy's exhausted just listening. Hey, we're gonna get Andy in there. Don't you worry. He's gonna be trying out for the Dogs next year. They need an O lineman, so we're gonna get Andy right. Don't you sweat. Shazam though, I haven't seen Shazam. I'm gonna give it a watch. Don't worry. It looks pretty bad, but I mean, you gotta give.
I've heard it's bad. Shot. It also lost me when I saw it takes place in Philly. Only other movie I like to watch that takes place in Philly is Rocky.
I was gonna say, if you said any other movie than Rocky, I was gonna have a little beef. I can't lie.
I'm not a Philly guy. Sorry.
Right,
well, Rocky and Creed started in Philly, but like it's in LA now.
I'm sure there's a lot more movies that are based in Philly that
Dude, Cat, shut up, all right?
We just have no
Jesus,
idea
Cat.
about. But all right, we're gonna wrap this one up because Andy's gonna have to head out. He's got the lady calling. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Is Mo Sports TV, so catch us there. Law Abiding Citizen was in Philly. There you go. There's another one.
Never seen it.
But knowing who the killer was, there were also moments where I turned to my wife and was like, "This is about to happen," and it happened.
Well,
a lot of horror movies, I'd say, are like
I was
that,
hitting my girlfriend saying, I have no idea. It's like I had no idea. Like I knew one of the people were the killers, but like I had no idea who it was gonna be or like the situation. So it was somewhat predictable, but I think it was perfect either way.
Nice. All right. Well, like we were saying, we will catch you guys Madness later in this week. Mo Sports TV will be back tomorrow.
I'm heading on vacation after tomorrow.
Yeah, and we will catch you guys later on. So Andy B will be on the vacay, but we will be talking some World Baseball Classic about tomorrow night. We will be talking some more NCAA March Madness. We'll talk a little NBA if it's not a crappy night. It's been kind of lackluster this past weekend in the NBA. We'll also talk any NFL news and whatnot. But other than that, we appreciate you guys tapping in. Be on the lookout for a clip coming out on the socials later tonight. Mo Sports TV clip, Moneyline Madness clip. You know where to find us. So appreciate all the support. And yeah, thanks for tapping in. We will catch you guys later on. Peace.